Welcome to Yoga for Wellness. Today we have a yoga workshop that's going to be for about 2 hours featuring the powers and benefits of the breath. I'm absolutely honored to be here. Thank you to Wilkes Recovery Revolution. Uh, they are the reason this is all possible why I am able to even go live on Facebook to present these awesome practices and workshops every single week and month. So if you get any free time, check out their Facebook page. I highly recommend it. It's going to be a great benefit for you. Today's feature is on the breath, how it can alleviate anxiety, how it can really just soothe the senses, especially if you've had a really rough day or week. This breath practice that I'm going to be teaching today is going to feature several different pranayamas. Hey, good morning, Erica. Hi, Ariana. Welcome. Good morning. Um, but today we're going to be discussing the breath. Now, you may see below, it's going to feature about 70% lecture, 30% practice. It is recommended to not practice the types of breath work that I'm going to be doing after eating or on a full stomach. It is recommended to do after a couple hours, but do not fret if you've just recently eaten. This practice is going to be available to you whenever. It's going to be posted after this, so you will have the benefit of coming back to it whenever you please. And that's why I love this kind of network. It's always available, making yoga and yoga practices accessible to all who need it when they need it, absolutely free. So, with that being said, we start in a couple minutes. So, whenever you do practice, just wear something comfortable, something you can move around in, and just let's focus on getting settled and relaxed, getting ready to learn. Again, this is not a typical yoga practice. It's a yoga workshop where we're learning on the foundations of the breath, why it's important, what pranayama even means, and much more. But just know I'm thrilled that you're here. I'm glad to be here, and we're going to have a good time today. So we're still a little early. If you have any questions this morning about what to expect, please, by all means, post in the comments below. I'll be excited and happy to respond. But I'm going to give everyone a little bit of time to get settled in. If you'd like to take notes, please, by all means. I'm going to have some infographics this morning available, and I will provide the links by the end of this class today, so you can access them whenever. But it's going to be really good information. I think the breath in daily practice alleviates such great amount of anxiety in my day. It's good to create space for pause, create space in your heart, in your body. The breath in yoga speculation is known as the soul. And it's what we start with when we first come alive into this world. It's what we end with when we leave this world in this lifetime. So I think the breath is so important. When we get caught up in day-to-day things, it's easy to forget the importance of how our breath is used. We hold our breath sometimes. We kind of hyperventilate sometimes. It can express itself in many different ways. But with that being said, I open the floor to you at any time. If you have questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I will be just talking into the void, so to speak. I'm going to give a couple more minutes. Maybe get some water, y'all, if you haven't already. But yes, it's an honor to be here, y'all. Honored to be here with you. I hope y'all are having a good morning. I'm still waking up a little bit myself, but I think this will be a great time to start off, a great way to start off our Saturdays. And I hope y'all's families are good, Ariana. I hope Lorelai is doing well. And Erica, I hope you and Justin are well. Excuse me. Just stretching. Waking up. Wake me up before you go. Okay. Let's get started. I'm just clicking a couple links real quick. Sorry, my computer's running a little bit slowly. I think my computer, and this may be TMI, is MacBook 11, MacBook Pro from 2011. So it's it's been running kind of with a couple of bits of clunkiness here and there. Okay, all right, let's get started, my friends. It's 10 a.m. Good morning. Today's feature is pranayama. Fun word. You're learning vocabulary today. Pranayama. Let's talk first on what that is, and I'll go into why I chose this workshop here in just a second. But pranayama, there's some derivatives here. I'm going to start by opening this page up here. There's a cool little pranayama. Prana means life force, and yama means control. Put it all together, you got control of the life force. Pranayama is breathing techniques to control the life force, which manifest in the body in the form of the breath. So, pranayama is a term that is used often in yoga because it's what we use to transition from pose to pose. It's what we use to still ourselves, and it's what we use every day, all day. But the specifics with pranayama is to find control and regulation of the breath. As I mentioned earlier, it's possible that whenever we get wrapped up in things in life, we can hold our breaths, we could find ourselves breathing irregularly, which can manifest in different ways, which I'll get into. But first, before we go forward, I invite you to take a breath in with me, just so we can settle ourselves, get a nice comfortable seat, and take a big breath through the nose. All together now, breathe in and sigh out. Relax your shoulders. Another deep breath in through the nose. Fill up your bellies like a balloon. And try to go longer breath out. Exhale. One more breath. Just a little slower. Breathe in through the nose. And slowly let it out. Relax your shoulders. Beautiful. Already, we're experiencing a bit more calm this morning just from taking a second to breathe and to find guidance with our breath. And a good tool that I recommend if you need help timing your breaths is moving with your arms. Now, I've seen this in Tai Chi. You can breathe in, just lift your arms up into the sky, inhale. Just reach up, simply put, and slowly with your exhale, lower your arms down. Empty it all out. Flip the palms up, reach up, inhale in. Big breath, big stretch. Exhale, palms down, lower the arms down. One more time, breathe in, reach up. Lower, exhale. Relax those shoulders, feeling settled. And here we are. See, already the use of pranayama has caused a calm in myself. I hope it did for you. And even if it's just a simple matter of using 30 seconds just to breathe and just breathe, it can provide exponential benefits. So, pranayama, I explained what that is, but there are lots of benefits to focusing on the breath. But first, I would like you to know that this breath work is used to alleviate stress. And stress can cause a lot of ailments that can lead to disease, and a lot of worsening ideas. I did find this one infographic online I'm about to show you. Let's see. I could have warned you a little better of the clunkiness that is to come. That's what happens when you get a lot of infographics. I enjoyed them, but it can add some challenges. Here we go. Hey, good morning, Brittany. Welcome. I hope y'all can see this okay. I'm going to turn off my camera, but leave my mic open. I don't think that made much of a difference. I was just trying to enlarge this, but this is how stress can manifest in the body. It can lead to hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, which also affects the sympathetic nerve system. These break down into different areas of the body that it can increase our heart rate and blood viscosity. It can also cause inflammatory reactions. It can also raise blood pressure and clotting, blood glucose. It also affects our digestion as well. And all of these things that stress adds up to can lead to some sort of disease. Now, I know it's a lot broader spectrum than what this infographic provides, and I'm aware of this. However, the point being is accumulative stress over long periods of time without proper relief or proper breath work can lead to harming yourself in some way or fashion. And that's not even on purpose, but constant exposure without allowing the proper rest or breath, it can cause some self-harm, even if it's not intentional. And I understand this to be true for many ways, through personal experiences. I've had stress affect me, making me just feel unwell. It could affect, it has in ways manifested in just my overall energy and vibrations. I think that using the breath as a tool to help alleviate the stress is very powerful. And there's a lot of different ways we could be using the breath. And even if you catch yourself gasping when you're talking so much, I notice this sometimes whenever I'm lecturing, that I have to slow down, notice, and catch my breath. We all do it. We're human. And it's normal. And so it's okay to understand our limitations. We all have them. And that's what it starts with, is accepting that. And through doing so, you can alleviate a little stress, find some surrender, take your breath, and move forward with each present moment. I know that was a lot. Sorry. And I started off on a deep sense, but I'm just expressing how, if we're not focusing in on our breath regularly, it can manifest with stress, and it can really cause some harm. It's one of those hard hitting big knowledge moments that also hit me hard. It's like one of those big truths, but one of those. But being aware and knowledgeful of these things helps mean moving toward better lifestyle and better breath work. But I'll give you some tools that you can use every day, anytime that it suits best for you. The reason why I said before to allow some time before to without eating to do these practices is because we're doing one after the other, and that's going to be on the second half of this class. But just by itself, some of these practices you can do anytime. So moving forward, we talked about what pranayama is, how this can manifest, how stress can manifest, but that's why I'm saying this is important to practice. It helps alleviate the stress so we can avoid that kind of harm in our bodies. But let's go to the benefits of the breath work that we're going to be discussing today. I'm changing infographics, so bear with me. Thanks for sticking by me. I appreciate y'all. Now I understand those. Growing up, we had those smart boards at school. There was always those awkward moments as the teachers were just trying to transition from one thing to another. I truly understand that now. Okay, here we are. Did it work? Here we are. Okay, 10 health benefits of pranayama breathing. I hope you can. Thanks, Ariana. I enjoy these sharing these little doodads, and they're cool looking and easy to read. And again, I will work to provide these links as we go forward, just so they're accessible. So, 10 health benefits of pranayama breathing. This is brought to you by mindisthemaster.com. And there's a 10 steps of health benefits. First, improves cardiovascular health. Simply put, breathing affects directly the cardiovascular system. Second, it reduces the risk of hypertension. When you're holding the breath, it also directly manifests in the body. Whenever you're breathing deeply, like for example, if you're just doing a child's pose and you breathe into the back body, sometimes things come up and you realize you haven't been holding those things until you've been breathing deeply for some time. And that is an opportunity to let it go, and it's opportunity to find release. Moving on, we're number 3. It improves lung function over time. Yes, our lungs are limited, but they work kind of like balloons. They are able to stretch and grow. And just like now, not everyone believes in evolution, but I'm using it as an example. Over time, with regular practice, your lungs kind of evolve with the breath work. Your lungs learn to grow larger. It learns to hold more oxygen supply. It feeds more red blood cells into your body and circulates better. You're getting used to it, and with that comes more growth. You would notice your breaths are deeper with more meaning. You're using mindfulness to guide your breaths, and it just further develops with more and more practice. I myself, over the course of several years, have noticed exponential changes in my lung capacity. I remember when I was growing up, I used to try to hold my breath for as long as I can, just to see how long I could do it. And I don't do that anymore. But I just noticed that I wouldn't stop inhale. I would stop inhaling at a certain point. That's what I recall. But whenever I have learned these techniques, I can go a little beyond that more and more each time I inhale deeply. And you will notice that too with more practice. It's more of one of those situations where you have, when you're just like, huh, well, I didn't know I could take that bigger breath. And it's kind of one of those aha moments like, wow, look, I've done this over time. It really shows with regular practice. Number 4, it can effectively treat and combat depression. I'll tell you this for my personal experience too. I've used the breath to combat depression in the moment. And in doing so, I use the breath as a tool to let things go. If it's a small, if it's a small, I wouldn't say conflict, or if it's a or if it's something where it's unexpected that comes up, that like bad news. I'm an emotional person. I accept this. I I will find something that comes up and it really affects me directly, even if it's not an intentional thing. I take a second. I take a couple of deep breaths. I count to 10. I think of pretty colors, and it helps alleviate that kind of emotional response. Being mindful of the breath is not it is good for having the breath itself regulate the motion, but also it gives you a little bit more self-control. You ever hear people count to 10 when they're upset? Well, add the breath to it. Think of it like this: you inhale for 4 and exhale for the other 6. And with a couple of cycles of that, you'll notice a difference. I know this for a fact. It does help depression. Sometimes I can't speak for all people, but I can speak for myself when I say that it regulates very well with practice. All right, number 5, aids in weight loss. Now, I only can speak for myself. I do know a couple of friends who've also lost weight through regular yoga and regular breath practice. But with breathing deeply and using the breath constantly over time, and again, it's a practice, it's not just a one and done ordeal. Breath is our whole life. Uh, we're always breathing, but using that controlled breath, using that timed breath and the techniques I'm going to give you, it could help. It helps the blood circulation. It helps relieve clots. It also helps use the diaphragm, where we store a lot of the extra fats in our body. Uh, it activates those muscles as well. So in doing so, it can help relieve weight loss to a point. Not saying I don't have the science around exactly how much weight loss, and I'm not saying it's guaranteed. Everybody's different, but I'm saying based on my experience with regular practice, I have lost about 10 to 20 pounds. So it is possible, I would say. And even if that's all you do, just breath work in itself, you will feel lighter, even if you might not weigh exactly different. But I feel lighter just being able to breathe and having that breath carry me. Moving forward, it serves as a detoxifying agent. Now, that's a vague concept, detox, and it also assumes that we as humans are toxic. I think that's fine. That is an option for healing, but I like to say it's a healing agent instead of detoxing. Um, since this was pulled from this website, um, I'm not going to fully say that it's a detox. It maybe cleanse yourself from toxic mindsets, or maybe it can help cleanse yourself of maybe different ailments or like stress. But the word detoxifying, it kind of assumes that we're toxic to begin with, which I'm not always a fan of. That's just my personal angle. um, I think we all have the potential to experience toxicity in our lives, of course, but also I don't want to assume that we as people are automatically needing of a detox, so to speak. But we all are in our own healing journey. We are all in need of some sort of tools of support that can help aid us to be our best selves. So let's just put it as it's a great agent for healing and reaching towards our better selves. Um, Next, it strengthens the immune system. Oh yeah, it it directly affects the nervous system and our immune system in doing so. So the breath connects everything in the body, from our heads to our toes and our nerves. So it of constantly alleviating our stresses by following the breath, it can really benefit our immune system. Now, it's allergy season. It's kind of hard to breathe to begin with. But some of these practices with regular use, it can actually help alleviate some of these symptoms. Now, I'm going to be real, and one of these practices, you may need a tissue because it's go lack of better phrasing, there might be a snot rocket that goes out from practicing this, but you'll feel better in the breath by doing so, and I think that it will help with your breathing throughout the day. I'm not saying don't take necessary medications. That's not it. But I'm saying it can help support that kind of life. It can help support you during times where you're feeling ill. There's yoga for times when you're sick. There's all kinds of stuff out there that can help support this. But we're going to focus more on the breath for today. But it does provide great support for your immune system. Moving on to number 8, cures a host of digestive problems. I mentioned that earlier. Now, because you use your diaphragm when you breathe, you're naturally working those muscles, you're massaging the internal organs, and you are helping food digest in a healthy way. When you're sitting still and you're not actively breathing for a long, expended amount of time, of course, yes, your body will naturally digest, but not as effectively as if you're actively working the abdomen and working the internal organs. So, with regular deep breath practices, even if it's just 10 to 15 minutes a day, even if it's 5 minutes a day, it makes all the difference. It adds up. It makes such a great deal of difference, and I've noticed that myself. I've in the past had great blockages, so to speak. I'm sorry if that's TMI. But I'm really just using myself as an example because it worked. It's improved my digestion health, and I don't have so many issues with digestion problems because of knowing how to use my breath. Oh yes, Brittany. Well, I'm glad, and I've been in a couple of toxic relationships. I've been in toxic work environments, and yes, it is important part to include detoxification. Um, and again, I didn't want to assume anything about anybody's lives or who they are, but situations that we are in can be toxic, and we need healing for to move forward. And thank you so much for sharing. I really do appreciate your honesty. Um, and I do hope that these practices and this information will continue to support y'all. That's what it's for. That's why I'm here. We're going to move on forward. We got 2 more here. It helps fight sinusitis, this, sinusitis, and sinusitis. I've never really had a lot of issues with, but I have allergies, as I mentioned before, and it does support that. And again, notice how it doesn't say cure very much in this. It doesn't absolutely cure all health problems or all digestive problems or all sinus issues, but it fights it and it supports the healing of these things. Because I'm not a doctor, I'm a certified yoga practitioner, I'm a certified yoga teacher. I'm certified to be able to teach these workshops. However, I cannot speak for you. And if you were in my workshop for addiction and recovery last time, there are people who are specifically focused towards direct healing for individuals. So this is a practice that can be shared amongst a array of folk. This It's not specified to each person, so it's going to be a bit more vague. I'm just going to give you a heads up, but hopefully, and I have good intentions that these are going to be beneficial to most any person. I feel like a lot of these benefits here go towards nasal and sinus healing because it works those areas a lot. You breathe through your nose, you breathe often every day. So, but it's how you breathe that really makes a difference. Whenever you're practicing these, you can, it kind of also works the sinus muscles as well. you're using one nasal closed inhale and then oppose it with the other one with one of our practices, and it really clears it out. So tissues may be needed later. Just a warning. And those are the 10 benefits of these, only 10 benefits of pranayama breathing. I want to open the floor for if there are any questions before we move forward. Does anyone have any questions about these or need to add anything at this time before we go forward? I'm going to give a couple minutes, and if not, we'll move onward. Because up next, we've already talked about the benefits. Now I'm going to go next up and say what is, well, actually, I want to provide you one more piece of information. Let's see here. We're referring back to another infographic that we were using. Okay, prana. So this kind of goes back to the certain areas of the body that is being worked while practicing pranayama. Prana is the fundamental unit of cosmic life, which causes the movement of breath in a living being. 5 prana controls the energy, well-being, and fitness of a person. This kind of breaks down these working areas, and you'll notice the arrows in this human figurine here, and where the air moves and functions along the body. And you'll notice the positioning of this person here. This is how we're going to be sitting for a lot of our breath work practice later on. The breath goes in and out. It spreads out down to the arms, down through the legs here, and it circulates through the use of the diaphragm. And for here, we break down first in the prana, where it comes to the top of our head. It works between the diaphragm and to the throat, and it functions as responsible for the proper working of the physical senses. So it helps us see, hear, smell, taste, touch with more mindfulness. And I can speak for a fact, once I started practicing just breath work by itself, not even full yoga, but breath work in general, I've noticed that my senses are clearer. Now, I'm not saying it's going to make you able to see after not being able to see nearsighted or farsighted for a long time, but I've noticed more acute hearing. I've noticed I can hear things a bit more clearly. I take more mindfulness to what I'm eating or how I smell things. It really does cause a lot of benefits. But going onward to Udana, which is working from here all the way, it's working between the neck and the head region, shoulders to fingertips, hips to toe tips, and it functions as responsible for the proper working of physical senses as well. Pranayama, the Vyana here, that works the whole body through the circulatory system, flows nutrients to the cell via vein and arteries. As I mentioned before, it creates better circulation. The Samana works at the navel, and it helps the digestion process. And finally, the Apana, which is the core of the pelvic floor, which eliminates the body waste as feces, gas, and urine. So circulation seems to be the theme here. And that is a big benefit of how yoga pranayama can benefit you. I know I've gone over a lot of information here. Thanks for sticking with me. Again, I will provide these resources as soon as I'm able. And if you want to ask me about these later on, feel welcome to. we are going to move forward and discuss now the techniques that we're going to practice later, okay? So last call for if there's any questions before we start discussing the actual techniques behind all of this. Okay? Awesome. Okay, so we're going to go over the different types of breathing, the different types of pranayama. There are, but I will stress that a lot of this is going to be added and taken away. There will be some items that may not be included in our practice that I'm discussing today, but I'm going to try to keep it as simple as possible. I don't have a exact, let's see, I don't have an exact location for how to show this to y'all. Let's see. Clunky time. Bear with me, my friends. I appreciate your patience. Okay, so you're going to see some of my notes, so please disregard these because it won't let me like take away these tabs. But here's some of my notes for different types of breath. We're just going to go down in order to save time. So please disregard anything personal on the far left. I don't think there's really much that I haven't already discussed. Or there might be like a book or something about a hernia that I've actually have a surgery for, but I got that all taken care of. But besides that, let's start with the yoga breath, diaphragmatic breathing, and belly breathing. It's a foundational exercise that all beginners should start with to yoga breathing. We actually did that earlier, just a minute ago, when we started this workshop today. Diaphragmatic breathing, using the tummy or the belly to expand our breath, breathing from bottom up. Then moving forward is the Durga Pranayama, the 3-part or the complete breath. It's like that. It's very similar to the yoga breath. It's a foundational pranayama for beginners to strengthen and expand on the practice of diaphragmatic breathing. The 3-part breath improves breath awareness and lung capacity. I actually do have a display for you. I forgot about this, and I do apologize. Here we are. There we are. Okay. So this is the 3-part breath. Or also known as the square breath. But the 3-part breath is breathing in from the abdomen to the chest, to the clavicle and throat. You inhale through the abdomen, then the chest, and then the clavicle. Then you release the clavicle and chest, and then the abdomen. 3-part breath. Moving onward, we have the Ujjayi Pranayama. It's a foundational breath of Ashtanga and Vinyasa styles of yoga. It's both calming and invigorating and improves focus and concentration. That actually utilizes the throat um, that I had pulled up here, the throat section, using that sound as you exhale through the nose. I use it quite often in my practices, and I like to use it as much as possible. It's really good for relieving stress. Moving forward, Samavritti Pranayama, equal breath. The basic breath focuses on having your inhalations and exhalations at the same length. It uses, like, for example, you inhale for four counts and exhales for 4 counts. It's balancing, deeply relaxing, and good for beginners. Like, you inhale into the tummy for 4 counts and then exhale for 4 counts. I got a lot of tabs open. I apologize. Here we are. There's the breath of fire, where we have a passive inhalation and active exhalation. It's fast and short. It's used for more intermediate practitioners. It isn't recommended for someone who is very new to the practice, but if you're used to the other ones that I've explained just now, you should be fine. But that is the type of breath that you would want to wait until after you've gone without eating a couple hours before you've really practiced, because it's a lot of diaphragmatic activation. And so some people have known to gotten sick after if they were to just eat and then practice. Another powerful breath is the Nadi Sanhana Pranayama, alternate nostril breathing. It's where you inhale with one nostril, exhale with the other, and you go back and forth. It's you close the right nostril with your thumb and exhale sharply through the left side, making sure to contract abdomen at the same time. You release the thumb and passively and quickly inhale through both sides. You close then your left nostril with your ring finger and exhale sharply through the right side. Repeat the sharp exhales through one nostril and passive inhales through the both. Now, that's one where you will probably need some tissues just in case. It is allergy season. It's totally understandable. And I get it. Moving onward, we have the buzzing bee breath, the beginner-friendly breath that uses sounds to help block out distractions and soothe the nervous system. You take your hands onto your ears. Sometimes you can close your eyes with your pinky and bring your ring finger to your forehead, or you could just take your thumb right at the opening of your ears, and you make a humming sound as you exhale. You can go om. It's up to you. We'll go into more of that later. Then we have the chanting breath. That's what fully utilizes the om mantra to clear the mind, remove negative thoughts and blockages, strengthening the lungs, and improve mental focus. I've heard in meditation that you can, if you focus on one thing and just that one thing, even if it's the sound of making om, that is the goal. Complete, utter focus and removing anything else out. That's also the power of the breath. Y'all with me so far? I think we're going through a lot of information. I appreciate you sticking by me so far. Well, here, I think no news is good news, right? Moving onward. Onward we go. Now there's the Nadi Shodhana, the channel purifying breath, which also uses the same motions as the alternate nostril breathing. Close the right nostril with your thumb and slowly inhale through the left side. At the top of the breath, you close the nostril with your ring finger, your left nostril with your ring finger, and exhale through the right side. And then you inhale with the right side, close your right nostril, and exhale through the left, and swap back and forth a couple times. Now, we've already discussed Ujjayi, We've discussed the humming bee breath, and these are more descriptions here. Next is lion's breath. Now, I've done that a couple times in our practices. It's simply you take a deep breath in, stick out your tongue, look at your and at your brow with your eyes, and make a sound. It's really good to to empty out your breath, and it works your throat chakras. It You repeat it about 5 times, and it really just kind of causes an extra calm, and it's fun to feel a little silly sometimes. Now, we've already discussed the fire or skull shining breath, but then, and that's when you have passive inhale, a focused exhale. But then there is another one that's quite like that called the bellows breath. It's an active and equal inhale and exhale. It kind of sounds like hyperventilating, but it's controlled. It's a deep inhale and exhale, very active, and it shouldn't be done unless you're experienced practitioner. And I give you that up front because I don't want you to hurt any kind of safety that you could otherwise have. I want you to be safe and feel comfortable. And then there's a couple more. There's a cooling breath, Sit Kari Pranayama. It's sticking out your tongue, making a loop with your tongue, and as you inhale, inhaling the cool breath in and exhaling through your nose. Think of it like drinking air through a straw with your tongue. And that is all for the diagrams I have, but I have 2 more that I want to share with you. There's just the left nostril breathing, where you just inhale and exhale with the left nostril, and then right nostril breathing, which is just the opposite of the left nostril breathing. So that's the different techniques. I know that was a lot. Let me go ahead and give you a link so you can see these visuals. That's visual with the images you just now saw. Let's see. For the benefits, I'm going to look that up real quick. Okay. All right. Thanks for sticking by me so far. I appreciate y'all so much for being here. With that said, I'm going to go over a couple science facts here. Let's see. So we're going to go over next the scientific benefits of pranayama. I'm going to cancel that screen share that I just had. Thanks for sticking by me once more. I'm cleaning out a couple things as I go forward. So this is the science behind it, some scientific facts about pranayama. This is to back up the power of what these do for you. Pranayama for 45 minutes a day over 2 months has improved conditions of asthma and emphysema patients. Now, again, I can't say that we all have time to do pranayama practice for 45 minutes every day, but even just like 10, 15 minutes a day can prove to have exponential benefits in improving conditions of asthma, emphysema, just general breathing, and maintaining calm during your day. Number 2, a daily slow practice for 5 minutes has decreased blood pressure. The Bhakstrika Pranayama. I believe that is the Bellows Breath, the one where it sounds like hyperventilating, but what it really does is stoke the fire of the breath and invigorates the circulation of the body. Number 3, a study on chemotherapy patients showed improvement with anxiety and insomnia after Kappa Bhati Praknyama. The Kappa Bhati is the fire breath, which is a active exhale, a passive inhale over the course of 20 beats or 20 passes. Breathing in from the right and left nostril affects the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system periodically. So it basically, as it mentions, it helps calm the nerves and thus helping heal the body. Number 5, pranayama reduces the frequency of brain waves from 60 to 0.1 pulses per second to calm the mind. Can you believe that? We're using our brain so much, like 60 pulses per second. That's so much, and we put so much onto our minds so often that we can that when we lower it, it can cause ourselves to kind of reset, so to speak. And finally, number 6, conscious yoga breath creates static electricity field within the body. Static electricity field, energy. We are all energy, and we all are creating energy constantly. So in doing so, we are allowing ourselves to build up that natural energy. I gave a lot of information in just an hour, and I appreciate y'all sticking by me. Again, this is going to be available to you anytime you want to double back and look back at the information. Up next, we're going to go over some tips on how to best have an effective practice for pranayama. I'm going to read some in my notes, and then I'm going to go over these tips on this infographic here. So as I said, wear loose-fitting clothing or stretchy clothes to feel comfortable. Find a comfortable seated position. If needed, use props to support you. I'm sitting on a pillow on top of my mat right now. Just set an example. Or you can roll up a blanket and sit on that. You want to be on a nice, comfortable seat. You want to establish a regular practice every day or several times per week for up to 15 or 20 minutes if accessible. Even if it's 5 minutes, it makes all the difference. I would rather say that if you take 5 minutes to practice every day, it adds up more than if you were to do like 30 minutes in one day a week. Because if you're making a routine of it, it builds as a lot better in the mind and body. You want to practice in a well-ventilated room or outside that's neat and clean and free of distractions, if possible. I get life is hectic. But do what you can. I recommend doing it outside. If it's a hectic environment, you don't have to even have your eyes open. I would probably recommend, if you want to have something to focus on, listen to some calming music with some ear pods. I like listening to nature noises personally, or having a white noise maker. Up next, another tip for pranayama practice is the practice usually at the same time and same place. You want it because your body will accompany that place and time with that practice. But if you have to be at different times and different places, you can create that space, which is even more powerful. Finding comfort in any place, it shows that you are more flexible. But it's not always easy. But as long as you can find a neat place to sit down and to find your calm for 15 to 20 minutes, it makes so much of a difference. Now, if the weather's pleasant, yes, you should try to go practice outdoor. That fresh air is so invigorating and gives such great benefits. Avoid practicing yoga under a fan or next to an air conditioner as it could disturb the prana and be distracting. Now that's a new one for me. I I sit under a ceiling fan, but it's more passive, so it's just a very slow go. But that's up to you. Daily practice should be done on an empty stomach, as I mentioned, just because we don't want anyone to get sick. It is recommended to clear your bowels before vigorous practice with the fire breath or the bellows breath. And keep your mind focused on your sensation of the breath as you practice. Notice if you're holding or if something's keeping you from filling the full breath. And just notice. You don't have to change anything. You just have to simply notice and be mindful. Now, if you feel any sensations of pain, tension, or weakness in your body, I stress to focus on relaxing that area and directing your breath into it. And then finally, take your time. Slow and steady wins the race. This is a practice, and for regular use, it is essential to progress and integrate pranayama's effects, one thing at a time. Okay, now that was my notes. I'm going to go over these tips right here that are on this infographic. Pranayama best works either in the early morning or after the sunset when the air is cool. I know we're later in the morning. It's still kind of cool outside. It's a nice breeze. Keep the spine erect and sit in any comfortable posture. Empty the bladder or bowel before starting the pranayama. Concentrate the mind in between the center of both eyes while deep breathing. Choose a clean, airy, and secluded place to practice regular pranayama. Don't try out physical poses or practices after pranayama. Now I've heard that you can do it before or after, so that's up to you. But it seems I think it's saying trying out new physical poses, like this one right here where they're doing a bow posture. Now this is for pregnant women. Pregnant women shouldn't practice breath retention pranayama. And relax in shavasana after finishing pranayama practice. That way you could take in the nutrients of your breath. Alrighty, my friends, those are the tips for pranayama. I went over a lot in a short amount of time, so I'm going to allot a 10-minute break. I say 10 minutes because we're going to just make sure everyone's comfortable and ready before we do this practice. We're going to go over the yogic breath, Ujjayi, the 3-part breath, the alternate nostril breathing, the lion's breath, the cooling breath, bumblebee breath, and then fire stoke breath. And I'll display some practice breath ratios. As I mentioned, sometimes you can breathe in for a certain amount of beats and then exhale a certain amount of breaths, a certain amount of beats. I'm so sorry. But different timing provides different benefits, which I'll go over. And then after that, we will conclude and we'll move on with our day. But take 10 minutes for you. We'll rest for a minute and I'll be right back. I'm going to close my camera and feel welcome to type out any questions you have. And we'll be back soon, okay? Okay, my friends, I'm back. Thank you so much for your patience. If you were waiting, I'm going to give a minute to get back from our little break. So, I'm going to kick off with one more infographic here. Well, we got two more for today. This one is called 478. It's called 478 breathing. It's yogic breath. It's 3-part breath, but it's going to accentuate. Let's see. Hold on now. Oh, well, the infographic might explain it better than me. Let's just put it like that. Here we go. So, Dr. Andrew Weil, a Harvard-trained medical doctor, derived a breathing technique to instantly relax or provide mindful sleep. Practice this simple technique with the 5 simple steps. Now we'll demonstrate myself and feel welcome to follow along. And my cat, featuring my cat. I felt that my mat was heavy just now. No, sir. No chewing on my wire here. Thank you. Okay. We're going to sit first in a nice, comfortable seat. You can have your legs crossed. You can have your legs out in front of you. You could be sitting on a couch even. Find what's comfortable for you. I'm sitting cross-legged, one leg over the other, sitting on a pillow. Now, you want to bring your tongue in contact with the upper palate near your teeth and place it there during the entire exercise. You want to inhale 4 counts of breath. Quietly inhale through the nostrils while the mouth is closed. Hold the breath for 7 counts and exhale for 8 counts through the mouth, making the whooshing sound as the air escapes your mouth. You want to repeat this for 3 times. So what I'm going to do, since I'm going to prompt the inhale and exhale. I will not be counting aloud in order to execute the practice properly, but I will show you with my fingers. So keep your eye on the camera. I'm going to close the infographic, or actually make it equal so you can see us both equally. Awesome. So I'm going to, you can start with your hands, fingers and pointed fingers and thumbs to touch, resting on your knees. Heart lifts. We're going to just do a normal breath in. Take a deep breath in. Long breath out. 2 more with me. Deep breath in through the nose. Lengthen the spine, nice and erect. Exhale it out. Deep breath in all together now. And out. So the counts here are 4, 7, 8. So you inhale for 4, you hold for 7, exhale for 8. So make sure your inhale is nice and sharp, like you want to breathe in with intention. And I'm going to use my hands to help guide you. So pay attention to my hands for the counts. Hi, kitty. Let's get started, okay? So tongue on the back of the teeth, touching the top palate. We're going to inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale through the nose. Hold. Exhale. Take a moment to notice how you feel. Take a breath in through the nose. And out through the nose. Relaxing the shoulders. And you should notice a sense of calm. Holding the breath for a prolonged period of time increases the demand for oxygen in the lungs. In this way, oxygen-rich blood is circulated through the whole body. It has a relaxing effect on the body. That's the 4-7-8 breathing technique. Awesome, right? I'm going to close that infographic. And it's just going to be me for a little while. Up next, we're going to feature the Ujjagi Breath. Again, we're going to have our pointer fingers and thumbs to touch, resting on our knees. Heart's nice and lifted. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Out the mouth. You notice that sound I made with the sigh. Now kind of make that hissing sound, however, with your mouth closed as you exhale. So we inhale in, deep breath through the belly. Hold for a second. Exhale, Ujjayi breath. Make the sound with your throat. Almost made a breath with the 4-7-8 breath. Now, deep breath in. Ujjayi breath out. Deep breath in. Fill up the belly. Ujjayi breath out. Focus on that sound in your breath. 3 more. Inhale, deep breath in. Ujjayi breath out through the nose. Inhale in. Lifting the crown. Long breath out. Ujjayi breath. Last one. Deep breath in. Biggest breath you have done. Hold. And now Ujjayi breath out, nice and slow. Awesome. Moving onward, we are going to move forward with 3-part breath. We're going to do 10 of these. With regular use, it's going to help really increase the blood circulation and blood flow. So for this practice, I invite you to use your hands to guide you. Left hand right below the navel, right hand onto the heart center. We're going to start focusing our breath into our belly, just the belly. We're going to inhale, fill up the belly. And exhale, feel the air escape the belly. Inhale, fill up the belly. And out. One more, just the belly. Inhale, feel the navel move. And out. Next, we are going to inhale with the belly and the heart, but first we start with the belly space. Inhale in. Inhale, the heart expands. Exhale, release where the heart air is in the belly. So it works. You inhale with the belly and the heart. You exhale with the heart and then the belly. Moving up and then down. So inhale in, fill up the belly and the heart. Exhale the heart. Relax and exhale the belly. Again, breathe in. And then out. Feeling your hands expand and contract. Breathing in through the belly and the heart. Exhale. Empty, empty, empty. And then on the next inhale, find a raise in the clavicle as you breathe in. Take a deep breath in through the belly, the heart, clavicle raises. And then relax the shoulders and the heart. Exhale. And the belly. Deep breath in. Heart and clavicle raise. Exhale. Big breath in. Last one, y'all. And relax shoulders down. And belly empties. Take time to notice how you feel. Notice the breath and where you are. And we move on to our next set of breaths. The alternate nostril breathing. First, take your thumb and ring finger. Now you can switch as needed. Start with your thumb and plug the right nostril. We're going to inhale for 7 counts, exhale for 7 counts, hold for 3. So I'm going to count with the other hand that I'm not using while I practice this, okay? So stay tuned to the visual. Inhale in through the left nostril to start. Hold, switch. Exhale out. Inhale through the right nostril. Hold, switch, exhale through the left. Inhale left side. Hold, switch, exhale the right. Inhale through the right. Exhale, hold, switch, and exhale. Inhale to the left. Hold, switch, exhale. Inhale through the right. Inhale. Hold. Switch. And exhale to the left. Inhale from the left. Hold. Switch. And exhale to the right. Inhale from the right. Switch, hold, and exhale from the left. Inhale from the left. Hold, and switch, and exhale to the right. Inhale from the right. Hold, switch, and exhale to the left. Inhale from the left. Hold, switch, and exhale for the right. Inhale from the right. Hold, and switch, exhale from the left. Inhale from the left. Hold, switch, and exhale to the right. Inhale from the right. Hold and switch. Exhale for the left. Inhale from the left. Last set, you guys. Hold and switch. Exhale for the right. Inhale from the right. Hold and switch. And exhale from the left. All right, release the hands. Take a deep breath in through both nostrils. And release. Inhale. Exhale it out. Awesome work. And that was the alternating breath. Moving forward, we're going to practice the lines breath for 10 breaths. So you can do this either way. You can have your legs extended outward. And the way we're doing lines breath is you extend, as you inhale, you have your eyes closed. As you exhale, you extend your tongue out as long as you can and look into the middle of your forehead with your eyes. Inhale deeply. Lion's breath out, sound. Inhale in. This little exhale out, lion's breath. Inhale in. Lion's breath out. 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 3 more, my friends. Inhale, deep breath in. Lion's breath out. Big breath in. Lion's breath out. Big breath in. Last one, big breath out. Awesome. Center yourself. Take a normal breath in and out. Notice where you are. Notice how you feel. You're doing awesome, my friends. Got 3 more breath types. Up next, we have the cooling breath. I'm going to do 10 of those, where you breathe in with your tongue curled up like a straw. Now, you don't have to stick your tongue out, but simply have your tongue curled into a U shape, allowing coolness to enter the body and out the nose. So breathe in, our first breath, tongue curled. Out through the nose. I recommend Ujjayi breath. Inhale through the mouth with the tongue curled. Exhale out. Inhale in. Hold. Exhale out. Inhale in. Exhale. Inhale in. And out. 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 Inhale in. Exhale out. 2 more. Inhale in. exhale out. Last one, inhale in. Hold. And exhale it all out. Wonderful. Awesome, my friends. You have 2 more breaths to go. I'm going to do fire-stoking breath, and then we're going to do Bumblebee Breath, followed by Shavasana, and then we'll conclude our workshop today. So, the fire-stokes breath, you want to have one hand on your belly and one on your heart, or you can simply have your hands rest onto your knees. Now, this is supposed to be done in increments of 25 to 30. So it's a passive inhale and an active exhale. You want to feel your abdomen push in as you do these active exhales. It's this type of practice where you should make sure your bowels are empty or not eaten for a couple of hours. 2 to 3 hours is recommended. So just be mindful. You're not required to take that type of breath right now if you're not in that position. But this is the fire-stokes breath. We're going to do counts of 25. I won't count out loud, and I won't have my hands up. Use your mind's eye to count. So take a deep breath in through the nose. Stay mindful. Exhale out. And we just do it. We inhale and exhale through the nose. So are you ready? We begin now. Breath in and out, 30 more. And we begin. Inhale in and out. Big breath in and out. We begin another 30 count. Together, inhale, and we begin. Inhale and exhale. Big breath in. Notice how you feel. And exhale out. Big breath in. And third count of 30. And we begin. Inhale in and out. Focus for the last count, 30. Inhale and begin. Exhale, fire's breath. Big breath in and out. Notice your breathing. Inhale, hold, and exhale. Inhale, hold, Exhale. Notice where you are and how you feel. Take a couple more breaths. Breathe deep. Wonderful, my friends. Next, we have the Bumblebee Breath. You can take your thumbs and place on the lobes of your ears or on the opening. Close your eyes with your ring and pinky fingers, pointer fingers and middle fingers towards your third eye or forehead. We take a breath in, we'll do 10 of these, and make a hum sound. Inhale, hum. Inhale, hum out. Or you can also have your palms just cover the side of your head. Inhale. Feel the vibration of your lips as you hum. Inhale. And we hum. Inhale in. Hum. And breathe in. Hum. Breathe in and out. Breathe in. Hum. Breathe in. 3 more. Exhale. Inhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Release the arms. That was the buzzing breath. It wakes up the vibration in the body. We got one more pranayama, and that's the Om practice. Simply bring your pointer finger and thumb to meet. Rest your palms, the top of your palms gently onto your thighs. Heart lifts. We inhale in and recite what we call the sacred Om. And what Om means, it's the universal sound that reverberates across the universe. So we just simply say Om. You've heard of this before, I'm sure, but now we get to practice it for 10 breaths. So all together we inhale in. Close your eyes. Focus on a point on your forehead. Om. Inhale. And Om. Going forward, I won't recite inhale or exhale. Simply breathe and hum with me. Last one. Inhale. Sacred. Om. Beautiful work. Now we'll conclude. Before I say conclusion, by taking Shavasana. So lay flat on your back where you are, nice and gently. A slow, 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 loving pace. Maybe you may rest on a pillow, relax the legs and feet down. Take a breath in and out. Simply be present in the moment with your body. Noticing if anything comes up for you, and simply let it flow like a river. You can take those thoughts and imagine writing them on a piece of paper, making a little paper boat and sailing it along the river, away into onward and beyond. Breathe in and out. Now continue with the normal pace of breath that's comfortable and normal for you. Simply take stock of how you feel and just be. That's it. Just be. We'll stay here for up to about 10 minutes, and then we'll conclude. Eyes closed, soft breath, loving breath, mindful where we are, simply be. I'll leave be for a few minutes and bring us back once we're nearing the end of Shavasana. But take rest, take stock, and be. my friends. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bring your awareness back into the space. Coming alive after a deep breath practice and moments of rest. When you're ready, you can place your feet on the mat or floor, bend your knees, and roll over to your favorite side lovingly, slowly. And press yourself back up to seated. I thank you all for being here today. I'm honored to be here with you. We conclude by placing our hands to our hearts, and we're taking stock of all the joy that we bring to ourselves each and every day. We notice where our body is. We find light in every moment. The light in me proceeds to always love and value the light in you. I see you and cherish you. And I bow, and you are welcome to stay silently or aloud. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you, my friends, for joining me again. This is all part of Wilkes Recovery Revolution's Yoga for Wellness program. This is also brought to you by me, Yoga with George Ethan. It's an absolute privilege to share my practices with you, and thank you for all your support. With lots of love, I wish you a beautiful week. I wish you all a beautiful day. Enjoy spring. It's here. Starting next week, we're going to have a more strength-focused practice. It's going to be the Warrior series. Next 4 weeks are focusing on the 4 types of warriors. There's Warrior 1, 2, and 3, and then there's one for Peaceful and Humble Warrior. And then on the workshop, we're going to focus on the foundation of the warriors and what the story is behind them. So with that said, I wish you a beautiful day. Continue to practice your breath. Use your breath to guide you and carry you with each and every passing moment. And know that you're always loved and welcomed here. Namaste, my friends, and have a beautiful day.